Hi, it's Lucy, and today I'm here to do my September TBR. I'm looking in the viewfinder thingy for my camera, and I kind of look like a clown, so yeah. But I'm outside once again, or for the first time. I don't know what order videos are going up in. I just wanted to do a video outside, you know? Anyway, so let's get into it. I have like 3 sections I'm going to be doing. First, I'm going to talk about some readathons that I want to notify you of and also let you know if I'm taking part in any. Then I'm going to talk about some arcs that I have that I want to also notify you about and hopefully plan to read this month because they come out this month. And then finally, I'm doing one readathon specifically, so I'm going to tell you my TBR for that, and that's going to be like the TBR for the rest of the month, kind of. Those are the sections. I think I'm going to do the timestamps for this video. And yeah, hopefully you can't see the other person talking because I own my apartment complex. Only one person is allowed outside at a time, and it's me. So that person is breaking the rules. I'm just kidding. Obviously, other people are allowed to be outside. First, let's talk about the readathons that I just want to tell you guys about. Every month, I do take note of readathons that are happening so I can decide when I'm going to take part in the next month or whether I'm going to take part in any. First, we have a few readathons that I'm not taking part in. 2 of them are for Latinx Heritage Month, which takes place between September 15th and October 15th. So yeah, if you're looking for readathons centered around that, then these seem like good options. First, we have the Latinx Book Bingo, which is, like I said, a readathon centered around Latinx authors and Latinx books. For Latinx Heritage Month, it takes place all month, so it's September 15th to October 15th. I will have information about it down below. The next one is Latinxathon. This one takes place September 15th to September 24th, so if you're looking for a shorter readathon around Latinx Heritage Month, then this would be a good bet, and I will leave their information down below. Lastly, it's not around Latinx Heritage Month, but I just wanted to shout it out, and that is Buzzwordathon, which was created by Books and Lala and is also being hosted by my friend Paola. The Buzzwordathon is just a readathon that's centered around a word that's chosen. The word for this round is night. This is actually the last formal round. Paula talks about it in her video, so I'll leave both of their videos down below. It takes place September 21st to the 27th. And also I wanted to mention, and I just forgot to mention, September is my birthday month. I'm born on September 20th. I'm turning 24. I love birthdays in a pandemic. I know I should not complain because lots of people have had their birthdays during a pandemic. And so yeah, just putting it out there. Hopefully September is a good month for me. Let's talk about my TBR now. There are 2 events, readathons, that I will be taking part in. The first one, I'm not sure if it's a readathon. It is the Latinx Heritage Month Book Fest, which is being hosted by Paola. Once again, she seems very busy this month. She's posted so far a bunch of challenges for Instagram and YouTube challenges, and she's hosting events during the month with authors and things. So it looks really fun. I'll be taking part mostly on Instagram. I don't believe that there are bookish challenges, reading challenges. I could ask her if she's planning to do that because she still has time, but it's more fun to be surprised. But I will be taking part mostly on Instagram. I'm not going to be posting every day because I cannot do that, but that'll be the main thing that I post for during September and October, during the month. And the last readathon that I'm going to talk about, and this one I will be fully participating in, is Becca's Bookopoly. I will talk more about it later on in the video when I give out my full TBR, but it just looks so fun. It's being hosted by Becca, whose channel name is Becca in the Books, and it's based on her TBR game, which is called Becca's Bookopoly. Before we talk about the readathon, let's talk about some arcs I'm planning to read separately from the readathon. All of these arcs I received from the publisher in exchange for an honest review. First, we have Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. This comes out September 15th. This follows a girl named Mila who has just graduated high school, and she's also aged out of the foster care system. She ends up being offered a job and a place to stay at a farm on the Northern California coast, and she immediately accepts, hoping to find a new home. The farm is a refuge, but it's also haunted by the past traumas of the other residents there, and we see what happens as Mila's own terrible memories start to come to the surface. I believe this either has an FF romance or Mila is a woman who loves women, because that's what Nina LaCour tends to write, and so I'm looking forward to reading it. I'm pretty sure the romance, if there is one, isn't a very big part of it though. It's much more about her trauma and past. Wow, what's that? We've had a location change? Yes. Like I said, I was filming outside and suddenly For the first time in the over 2 weeks I've lived here, someone has decided that they're gonna use their balcony to play loud music. Literally the entire time I've been here, hardly anyone ever goes out onto their balcony. And the one time that I decide to film outside, someone's like, not only am I going to go out on my balcony, I'm going to play loud music for fun, just to ruin Lucy's time. I'm sure that's why they're doing it, for me specifically. Anyway, we're inside now, but back to the books that I was talking about. The next book is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This book comes out on September 15th, and you've probably heard me talk about it. I talked about it in my mid-year freakout tag as like one of my most anticipated books. And yeah, the cover is still that amazing. But now I can give you like a more real synopsis. I could have done that before, but I was lazy. So now we're here. This follows Bree, who starts a residential high school program at a nearby university in order to escape from her family memories. However, not everything goes according to plan. When the first night she gets there, she ends up witnessing a magical attack. And then when the magical memory wiping she's supposed to undergo ends up backfiring and accidentally causes her to unlock her own magical powers and some repressed memories, she realizes that there was more to her mother's death than she had previously thought, and she ends up recruiting Nick, a self-exiled Legendborn, in order to help her figure out what happened. But when the Legendborn reveal themselves as descendants of King Arthur's knights and explain that a magical war is coming, Bree has to decide how far she'll go for the truth and whether she should use her magic to take the society down or join the fight. And the last arc that I want to talk to you guys about today, Everybody Looking by Candice Elo. This comes out on September 22nd. This is a novel told in verse that follows Ada, who's starting her first year at a historically Black university, and deals with her life up to that point, including the abuse that she experienced at the hands of her cousin, her mother's descent into addiction, and her father's attempts to create a home for his daughter in America, like the one he had in Nigeria. This sounds like it'll be very interesting. I'm always intrigued by novels in verse, so I'm excited to get to this. Okay, now we're on to the rest of the books on my TBR. Like I said, this is basically my Becca's Bookopoly-thon TBR. I just really thought it would be fun. I love TBR games, even though I don't really do any of them. The closest thing I've ever done was a TBR head-to-head, and like I guess my cat's using my TBR. But yeah, it just seemed like fun. Basically, Becca went all out. She made a Monopoly board for specifically the readathon. She gave us all the rules and everything. So I'll tell you guys about the rules as I get to them, if I come across them. If you want to know a full breakdown, you can check out Becca's announcement video, which I will have linked down below, obviously. I did not print out the board or anything because that would have been too much of a hassle. I did it all online, so I'm gonna try and insert not me playing. I didn't record myself doing it online because it took me a while to find the books and everything. I'm just gonna try and insert the dice rolls and where I end up on the board. I'll just put screenshots and everything. Hopefully that'll be enough. So I decided I was going to do 4 rolls because I have 3 arcs that I want to read, and then 4 more books, and then also I have some other books that I want to read. I tried to incorporate some of the other books that I wanted to read for other videos into this. You'll find out about them after I do those videos. I'm not going to tell you which ones are for which videos or anything. If there are any, maybe there aren't. I don't know. It's all a surprise. But yeah, I decided to do 4 rolls because it seemed like 7 books would be a good amount of books for me, especially considering these past few months I really have not been reading that much. I think the numbers have come out okay because I ended up reading a bunch of graphic novels these past few months, but last month I really hardly read anything. But the majority of August I hardly read anything, including graphic novels. My first roll was a 7, which when you start from go on the board, put me on the chance place on the board. What do you call that on Monopoly boards? The chance space, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, Becca's rules for the chance space, you're supposed to make chance cards. You divide them in half, and half of the cards would be books that you really want to get to, and half of the cards would be books that you're not so keen on getting to. I just made it a random pick since I'm not doing my full random picks this month. So my random pick was Daughters of Henri by Reni K. Alma. This is an African-inspired fantasy where we follow twins separated at birth who are the last remnants of the old gods being on Earth. So they're goddesses who were raised as humans, and during the story they have their powers awakened, and then they have to try and overthrow the current king who had removed all the old gods. And so it sounds interesting. I've heard mixed things about this book, but the cover really draws you in. So it was on my TBR, and now hopefully I'm going to read it this month. It is a Kindle Prime pick, If you have Amazon Prime, you can read it for free, because I'm not sure if it's self-published or if it's just been published by a small publishing house, but none of my libraries have it. My second roll was a 6, and this put me on the POC rep space. And honestly, I didn't need to choose a different book for this because of the 4 books I've talked about in this video, like 3 of them had POC rep. So, but I did choose a new book because I like to suffer. Just kidding, this book won't make me suffer. The book is By Any Means Necessary by Candace Montgomery. This is the group pick for the Latinx Heritage Month Bookfest, Latinxathon, and Latinx Book Bingo. They are doing a group-wide group pick, so this is the book that connects all of them. So I'm gonna read it. It's actually been on my TBR for a while, and so I've talked about the synopsis multiple times already in previous videos, but the bare bones synopsis is basically this follows a boy who is starting university and also simultaneously trying to save his uncle's bee farm. My third roll was a 6, and so in this game, now that I am filming this after I've already played the game and everything, I thought that what Becca said, when you roll doubles, you have to roll again. I thought she meant the same number twice, but what she meant was the same number on both die. So I don't think I did that. So I actually did roll 5 times because I thought this was a double, but it's not a double. So yeah, I just want to talk about that 5th book, I guess. But yeah, welcome to my journey where I just realized right now. But for this roll, I landed on the adult space, which is just to read an adult book. And I chose If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kuroami. This is another one that has appeared on many of my TBRs. Hopefully this month it will get read. It has to get read this month, okay? I cannot keep talking about books and then not reading them. But the basic synopsis is this follows a man who receives a terminal diagnosis and that he only has a few months to live, but then he gets a visit from the devil who offers him an extra day of life if he chooses to get rid of something from the world. In the last roll, the roll that I didn't know was the last roll, but it is the last roll, I rolled a 10 and I landed on Nature on the Cover, and I chose With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. Fruit is nature, right? Because that's what I'm going with. So yeah, this was actually really hard for me to find a book with nature on the cover. I don't seem to gravitate towards books with plants or anything. I had a couple books with the beach on them, which I was maybe that counts as nature, but I couldn't find the audiobook, so this was hard for me. This is about a teen girl who's in high school and she's also a teen mom and she lives with her grandmother, and so she's just living her life like that. And she also wants to be a chef, hence the food on the cover, but she struggles with this dream because she doesn't think it's practical for someone who has a family like hers. And so I think it's about her struggle with that. Elizabeth Acevedo wrote The Poet X, which I read and really loved. And she'd written another book that just came out with the name of which is escaping me, but the cover will be next to me. Those 2 books were written in verse, but I believe this book is not written in verse. So I'm excited to see how she does in a regular book. So those are all the books I'm going to be talking about in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for ending up joining me in this blank void. I guess I'm John Oliver now. If you made it this far into the video, leave a comment down below with a die or dice emoji, just because it seems like fun. It goes with Becca's Bookopoly. And yeah, also leave a comment down below if you have any opinions about any of the books that I chose. Let me know what readathons you're taking part in the month of September. It's Virgo season, which I didn't mention it's Virgo season. I mentioned it's my birthday, but I'm a Virgo, so Virgo season, yeah. And yeah, I think that's it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified. Follow me on all my other social media. I have Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!